I think toward the end, what I was saying was kind of getting interestingly interesting. It's getting interestingly interesting because you really can't just believe anything. You really can't just believe anything. What you can believe is limited. What you can actually believe. But one thing that's important, though, probably more important than beliefs, is that you can pretend. When I was a kid, I used to always pretend. Me and my friend Richard and Ollie, we used to pretend that we were like in a spaceship. We would have a cardboard box. And we would pretend that we were somewhere, between the earth and the moon. We would pretend and we'd get into it. Just like an actor can truly get into character. We couldn't, we didn't really believe it. I mean, we knew we were just playing. My mother, she would send my brother downstairs and, he'd say, Philip, Mama said dinner ready. Okay, sure. Here we are like halfway between the earth and the moon. We're 100,000 miles out into outer space. And I got to go run upstairs and, eat dinner and then come back. My friends, after eating dinner, and come back, to where I was, in real life, obviously, that's not real. Even as a kid, that's not real. It's just pretending. So many things in the world are pretend. We pretend. And we just, it's like, to truly put it, we just making this stuff up as we go. We pretend and we play around with people and we do things. And that's what we do. I think a lot of time people indulge in fantasies and they get so caught up in the fantasy, they get so deep into it that they kind of, I think if you keep playing with a fantasy so much, you get comfortable with it. You still know it's not real, but it's much more soothing. It's much more comfortable. It feels better than reality. The fantasy of having millions of dollars, the fantasy of being very popular, the fantasy of being very powerful when in fact in real life you really don't have that kind of power. It feels better. It feels good. You wish it were true. You wish things were simpler than they really are. You wish things were easier than they really are. You wish you had more resources than you really do. You wish, and you wish. But you don't really believe it. You cannot make yourself believe something. Just like no one else can make you believe something. And they don't ever make you believe things. We say that as a figure of speech, but it never really happens where someone actually literally makes you believe a thing. You cannot make yourself believe a thing. But you can pretend. And you can really get into character. And you can really get into the act. You can really get into it. And in some ways, in some crazy way, you can kind of make it true. You can sort of rearrange things so that it is true. So that it becomes technically true. It's technically true. But it's something that you constructed. It's a total constructed reality. It's a made-up reality. And you can sort of dedicate yourself more to that reality than to this other reality. You could do that. You could dedicate yourself more to that reality. I think people can do that. And then you can believe it. So what I'm saying winds up being a complete reversal of what I originally said, that you can believe anything, but you have to go through a process. You actually have to go through a process of believing. The process of believing. That's something to think about.